No Satu Sabali for the Liberty, as she is in concussion protocol after she dealt with a bad concussion she suffered in the finals, dealt with all summer. Sabrina Ionescu saying hi, ready to perform in front of a lot of hometown fans. She is from the area. Stokes and Jones to jump it up. Liberty win the tip and control.
Interesting here, Gabby Williams gets the primary defensive assignment on Sabrina Ionescu. When these teams played in May, Gabby was guarding Brianna Stewart.
Jones unable to hit from three. Here's Burden. Burden harassed by Astier. Burden has just flourished at Golden State, her second year here after 3 years where she didn't get much playing time, but wow, has she developed here and finds Xander Lacini for the first bucket of the game.
Great job by Xander Lacini there to find herself getting open. New York was denying every entry pass until Golden State was able to get it into Chechi.
Ionescu blocked by Stokes. Here comes Thornton. Here's Burton. Burton gives it up. Xander Lacini fading away. Gets fouled and will go to the line to shoot two. Stewie picks up her first personal.
But you see the difference in the energy that Brooklyn, New York, the Brooklyn jerseys is playing with versus their last game in Seattle. They had an extra day of rest. This is a long road trip, end of a road trip for the New York Liberty. But just the way they're coming out trying to deny entry passes on the defensive end, they have a different energy than they did in their last game against Seattle.
Chris DeMarco honored before the game by the Valkyries. Got a nice ovation from this crowd after he spent 14 years with the Warriors, was a part of 4 championships. Said he has 20 tickets that his wife handled, doled out to family and friends today. Ionescu can't hit the three. Said he probably has about 50 other friends and family that bought tickets on their own, as the loose ball foul is called against New York. And Golden State will have possession. First personal on Jones. So one on Stewart and one on Jones already here in this first.
See Astier picking up here full court. She likes to do that, making it challenging just to get the ball into the front court for her opponent.
Here's Burton. Off to Xander Lacini. Fires to the corner. Williams can't hit the three. These two teams both like to shoot it from downtown, as Phoebish running the floor, able to finish on a gorgeous delivery from Jones.
And that's a luxury for the New York Liberty. It doesn't matter which player corrals the defensive board, they can push the other way. That time a great dribble and then pass by JJ.
Here's Burton. Burton's little runner rolls in. Veronica Burton in her 5th year out of Northwestern, averaging a career-high 12.5 points per game. Was on the all-defensive team last year, was the most improved player in the W a season ago. Here's Jones spinning, dishing, Phoebish can't hit. Rebound Stokes. Kia Stokes in a starting role for Golden State here, as the whistle going the other way. Kayla Thornton called for the offensive foul.
Veronica Burton also is going to pick up defensively full court, and then she will complement what she does on that end with what she has grown into as an offensive player. She's gotten really good at that right there. The floater as she goes into the lane, one knee up.
Here's Jones. Jones Tried to get it to Astier. Now Astier into the paint. Ionescu in the corner. Doesn't get the roll. Nice job by Zandalicini to tip it over to Thornton. And that's going to be a blocking foul called on Astier as Thornton and her got tangled up.
Thornton, one of those bigs who can initiate the offense herself, and she comes down. Astier trying to get there, takes the brunt of the contact.
But did not own the real estate first, which is why it's a blocking foul on Astier. This Golden State team plays with a vigor and a fervor consistently, thanks to head coach Natalie Nakase. That is what she has instilled here at Valhalla. Williams back ironing off. Strong side rebound to Ionescu. Here's Jones, he's had a big June. Jones lumbering in, gets denied by Stokes, but a foul. And free throws for Jonquel Jones.
Kia Stokes coming off a game where she blocked 7 shots against Atlanta. She is a real force defensively. JJ taking it right at her. One of the things that makes Jonquel Jones so tough at 6'6" with her length is her ability to put the ball on the floor. Stokes gets her a little bit on the arm. She's trying to finish there.
You see the numbers on the season for Jones. In June, 17 points per on 60% from the floor and 45% from 3.
So not January Jones, but June Jones for Jonquel.
I do love January Jones.
I know you do.
Big fan of Mad Men. And January Jones rolling it. Here's Zandalicini. Got stripped from behind. Stewart off the steal.
New York after that free throw. 2-2-1, full court pressure zone. You don't see that a lot in the W. They brought it to it.
Here's Stewart working behind Ionescu. Banks it in, but the foul called on the floor. Stewart saying, I had gathered already, but Jenna Cross saying no. Foul came pre-gather, and so side out of bounds here for New York. Let's see. Close.
Yeah.
Maybe just before the gather. Jones, catch, fire, in and out. Rebound, Thornton won a title with New York in 2024. Thornton played a key role in a couple of those games in the finals against Minnesota in that epic series. And a foul called on Phoebish, tangling up Stokes.
At this other end of the floor, the New York Liberty are getting some really good looks from 3. They just haven't made one. They're 0 for 5. When these teams played back in May, Valkyries win. New York was 6 of 24 from 3. Got quality looks, just couldn't drain them.
And that was really the biggest difference in that game, as the Valkyries were 13 of 35 from 3. Talking about a 21-point swing. Shot clock at 6. Williams shoulders, flips, can't finish. And Ionescu comes down with the board. Here's Jones, back to Ionescu. Ionescu with a ton of friends and family here to watch. Back in the bay, Thornton the tip. Stewart chasing, but Thornton finishes.
Heads up play by Kayla Thornton to know there was no one between her and the basket. Tapped the ball to herself.
Great delivery, Ionescu to Stewart for 2.
See if New York goes back into the 2-3 zone, which they were in the previous possession.
Natalie Nakase was talking to us pregame about all the junk that Chris DeMarco likes to deploy defensively.
Here they're back into a man-to-man. What's interesting is you see Kayla Thornton hit the shot. Valkyries, before this game, had faced only 4 possessions of zone all season, and it was in their first matchup against the New York Liberty.
Stewart off to Phoebish. Out to Ionescu, a good look. That one was halfway down, pops out, and it's out of bounds off of New
Story in sports.
Great stuff, Al. The first Japanese-American head coach we've had in this league. And she uses the phrase, empty the tank. She wants her team to always empty the tank. And this year, they have a deeper roster that allows their players to do so, playing shorter spurts, but with all of their energy and gusto. And that's exactly what she wants her team's identity to be, and that's exactly what it has been.
Especially on the defensive end, how hard that they continue to play for one another.
Shot clock down to 1. Burton gets it off, and we have a first quarter wedgie. And Brianna Stewart picks it quickly.
We're going to replay the wedgie. Are we going to replay the picking?
Yeah.
We'll see.
Come on. Tiffany A says, I can't
Wait,
do that.
wait,
Stewart
wait.
says, I got you.
There we go.
Yeah. No broom needed this time. Well, that's our first Women's Sports Sunday wedgie.
Oh, okay, let's keep track of them.
All right. I don't know if it'll make the Emmy reel, but we'll remember. Stewart and Stokes to jump it up, and Brianna Stewart wins the tip. Here's Phoebish.
You see this as a smaller lineup for the New York Liberty with Laney at the 4, Stewie at the 5.
Here is Laney Hamilton. Dishing it into Stewart. Double comes. Stewart still able to flip it in.
Get a smaller player defending Brianna Stewart, especially with her length. When she catches it on the block or in the paint, you have to send a second defender. Golden State did, but just not in time.
Brianna Stewart having another incredible season. Stokes dishes out. Charles touches the paint. Hayes can't hit the 3. Burton battling with Ionescu, and it's out of bounds. Off of Burton, it'll be New York basketball.
Brianna Stewart on the right block, and Tiffany Hayes is stuck on her. She needs help, just doesn't come quite fast enough, and Stewie with the length and the lead, able to hit it.
Both teams 0 from 3 thus far in this game. They are 1 and 2 in three-point attempts this season. New York 0 for 6, Golden State 0 for 3. Stewart trying to change that, cannot. Burton the rebound. That's been the only part of the game that has not come along yet for Stewart this season. Just 20% from 3. Last year struggled as well from 3 at 24%. He's a player that used to be in the mid to high 30s. Burton got hit, still able to lay it in. And a chance for 3 for Veronica Burton.
Such great spacing for Golden State on the offensive end of the floor. They have players all around the perimeter who can hit threes, and that results in space. Burton's so good at getting the paint touch, finishing through contact, strong guard. Gets an opportunity here for the and 1.
We were asking Natalie Nakase about Veronica Burton and just what appealed to her about Burton's game, bringing her in here. And she said, when she was with Connecticut and Dallas, and I was an assistant with the Aces, whenever she would come in, I just felt like, who is this firecracker? She plays so hard. Did her research on her, found out she had a great work ethic. Felt like she couldn't take her eyes off her because of how hard she played. Knew her shot would come along, she said, with some confidence and love, and that she wouldn't turn it over. And that's exactly how things have played out for Burton and Golden State.
It is so fun to watch players who play that hard and are all over the floor the entire time they're on it.
Nice look, Ionescu. Shot clock at 5. Phoebish through the left side of the lane, across her body and in off the window. Leonie Phoebish, who missed the first meeting between these teams, a Valkyrie win back in May. 2:05 to go in this first quarter. Golden State a 15-9 lead on New York. Charles lobbing it in. Salon amongst the trees gets fouled. And will shoot 2.
Valkyries have had some success getting the ball into the paint with those passes. New York trying to send a second defender on the backside, but Golden State able to catch the ball and handle it here.
Second foul on Phoebish as both teams get ready to make wholesale changes. Only Kennedy Carter averaging more points off the bench per game than Janelle Salon.
I think Brianna Stewart's trying to argue that the foul should not be on Phoebish, should be on someone else for the Liberty.
And it is going to stay, at least for the time being, number 2 on Phoebish. Taking a look at the upcoming WNBA national TV schedule. Tuesday, it's the Commissioner's Cup final on Prime. It's the Las Vegas Aces and the New York Liberty at 7 p.m. Eastern. For more on this game, please go to WNBA.com or visit the WNBA app. Really looking forward to that. Those two teams, that rivalry, it's just always fantastic. Good start for Golden State, a 17-9 lead. Jones, no hesitation, connects on the three. First make of the day for New York after missing their first 8 attempts from downtown.
On a really tough pass from Astier, she used the screen, ended up throwing it over almost the blind side shoulder corner.
Salon turns the corner and lays it in. Salon so dynamic offensively at that size. Whistle goes against Golden State here.
See Astier as she's coming down the last possession and just goes right over the shoulder. Knows that John Court Jones is going to be there. Gets a really good look at the three.
I mean, you are seeing the way different front offices who have gotten down the art of positional scouting are really helping bolster their rosters in this league now. Astier, a prime example, as she buries the three.
Five internationals on the Golden State Valkyries roster, 10 on the New York Liberty roster.
Yes, both of these front offices have done a terrific job in mining those international leagues and finding really useful, productive players. Here's Salon. Dishes to Charles, who shouldered her way inside, and will go to the line and shoot two.
Well, the New York Liberty in certain defensive schemes are going to switch a lot, and that time Salon had the smaller player, Astier, switched onto her. Double team has to come. You get the cutting at the right time by Charles.
Let's check in with Holly.
Well, Kyla Charles has been a terrific story here in the WNBA. She has been resilient even when it was stacked against her. In 2022, it was the first time she really got cut from a team, and she said, it was hard. No one was in my ear saying, go work out every day. You need to get up and do something. She said, I ended up working out with my brother and kids in our neighborhood, but my love for the game got me back into it, was back into the love and fighting for it like I was in high school again. That has been so important to her to make a roster. Even though she got cut again last year, she keeps that resilient spirit.
Oh, terrific stuff, Holly.
Okay, behind the scenes, a little TV. You and I could not just hear that Holly Rowe report, but we know if Holly Rowe just gave a report, it was terrific stuff.
I got to hear the end of it.
Okay, so you knew that was terrific.
I was trying to just play it off, but I'm glad you decided to go. Just break down that third wall, okay?
Sometimes you got to do it right.
All right. But the resilience that she talks about with Charles really is amazing, and she's been a productive player here in Golden State. And snatches the rebound there. Shot clock turned off. Golden State 7 of 9 from inside the arc thus far tonight. It'll be Valkyrie basketball to start this second quarter. And we get a chance right now to chat with Sabrina Ionescu live from the Liberty bench. Thanks for joining us, Sab.
Thank you.
What is it like for you when you play a game back in this area? Obviously, up until last year, this wasn't an option, right? This team didn't exist. What's it like for you when you come back to the Bay and you get to play in front of family and friends here, Sab?
Yeah, it's awesome. I mean, you're able to see this environment. I mean, what an amazing opportunity to showcase what we're made of in this league, but also just showcase to all the young girls in this area what women's sports is all about.
Sabrina, low-scoring first quarter, but it felt like the shot quality from your team was pretty good. What did you like and not like on the offensive end?
Yeah, we're getting every shot we want. We're getting great looks in our offense. It's just about getting stops and maybe getting a few easier ones, especially in the paint.
All right, Sabrina, we appreciate the time. Thank you for joining us. Good luck the rest of the way today.
Thank you.
Sabrina Ionescu, kind enough to join us today. Back in the Bay. And yet, the Liberty did get a lot of looks that they would want in that first quarter. Just didn't knock them down as Astier lays it in.
Golden State has done really well is get themselves to the free throw line, you know, insisting into the paint, forcing fouls, forcing rotations at times after the Liberty switch.
Charles again insisting her way into the paint. And to your point about the free throws, Golden State 8 of 9 from the line thus far. The Liberty just 1 of 2. Here's Johannes. Off the Phoebe, into Jones, surrounded by Littles, and then gets fouled by the big. Stokes from behind, and Jones will shoot 2.
You know, my favorite thing in the league is the big little jump ball, but that was pretty entertaining too. Surrounded by Littles.
And fouled by the big.
Yeah, but it's tough because she has 3 different players around her. That's 6 feet, that's a lot of arms and hands, and Jonquel just keeps her patience right here. 2 Littles, here comes the big.
Second foul on Kia Stokes as Jones sinks the free throw. Golden State will go back to the bench. And Amihir will come in. Former South Carolina star as Jones misses the second. Rebound hugged by Salon. Out there with Hayes, Chen, Amihir, and Charles. Good hands there by Gardner trying to tie up Hayes, and we will have a jump ball.
And that's one of the things Beck Gardner brings for the New York Liberty. She and along with Astier are players who love and thrive on picking up, extending pressure, being disruptive on the defensive end of the floor.
Now they changed that prior foul on the big to a little. I just want to let you know it's no longer.
It wasn't on Stokes.
Well, it was, and now it wasn't.
Oh.
It was Stokes second. It has since been given to Chen. So Stokes with 1, Chen with 2.
That's definitely from a big to a little.
Yes. Gardner and Hayes to jump it up. Hayes able to claw it back. Shot clock at 7. Here comes Chen. A screen set by the official. Gardner got picked. Chen floats it in. Rebecca Gardner was mystified as she ran right into Kevin Fahey and could not get over that screen.
It was a brilliant use of the referee as a screener.
Jones, and it's going to stay right here.
Okay, in case you didn't see it happening live, the official in this position because of the jump ball happening, trying to get out of the way. And it was actually a moving illegal screen, Ryan.
Yeah.
He should have called a foul on himself.
Or either Jenna Cross or Angel Kent should have called one on him.
That's right.
And you could see Rebecca Gardner arms out saying, what am I supposed to do there? An astute use of the official by Caitlin Chen. Jones, difficult look, and still able to hit that feathery touch from the former MVP. (26-20), Golden State leads it. Here's Chan, the floater rips off. Johannes from Astier. And Jones gets fouled by Amihir. It'll stay right here.
Jonquel Jones at 6'6", but just has such a beautiful touch. Fade, one-footed shot. Amihir's extended arm right there. This is a little smaller lineup without Stokes in, and Amihir instead.
Beamish wide open, waits and still lays it in. A 3, back iron it off. Gardner the long rebound for New York out there with Astier, Johannes, Jones, and Phoebish. Here's Gardner off a big hit. Chen sending Phoebish to the deck. And that'll be number 3 on Caitlin Chen. 4th team foul against Golden State already here in this second quarter.
Do you think that was enough force to push down Phoebish, or do you think that was just a little bit of
yeah, it looked,
embellishment?
It looks marginal into embellishment as Jones turns it over. Turnovers were a problem for New York in the first meeting between these teams as well. Liberty turned it over 15 times in that game. That's just their second so far tonight.
Golden State in that first meeting, only 6 turnovers. They did a great job taking care of the basketball.
And a whistle here is going to go against Johannes again. That'll be her second. The WNBA app built by Deloitte is your home court for all things WNBA. Stay in the game with the latest schedule, where to watch, game alerts, and more. Scan the QR code to download now. Couple of substitutions. Reset the lineups for you. Golden State with Burton, Zandalicini, Mihir, Thornton, and Gabby Williams in the game. New York with Jones, Stewart, Astier, Thiebish, and Johannes with Sabrina Ionescu walking to the scorer's table. And that is going to go the other way as a Mihir is called for the illegal screen.
Another example of a New York Liberty in full deny, though, on the defensive side, just extending, making Golden State work here, and Mihir finally finds somebody cutting who she can give the basketball to, but the deny by Thiebish is what resulted in that. Oh.
Yeah.
It looked like a lot.
Had a couple of those over the last few replays. Here's Stewie banging inside, can't finish it. Rebound scooped up by Burton on the move. Burton looking into a Mihir. Had the switch on Astier. Now Williams. Draws 2. Thornton. Didn't pull the trigger. Now Will. Can't hit. Great effort by Astier on the glass, but Mihir able to wrestle it away, and a foul is called against New York.
Mihir has really long arms, and she uses them here to get the tip on the ball and then finally be able to corral it as she and Astier go down fighting for it.
And Astier knocking her over, picking up the personal, her second. And Jonquel Jones getting ready to jump it up.
Telling the officials, Kia Stokes wasn't in the game when this happened. I don't know that that matters.
Jenna Cross talking to the scorer's table. Going to drill down on the eligibility of Stokes jumping here. Hey, in the meantime, you get one of your favorite things, the DJ playing jump songs.
I love that, especially when they change it up all throughout the game. Don't play the same jump song twice. Yeah. Kia Stokes knew. She was trying to get one over, too. Like, the whole time she was out there, she was kind of chuckling about it. Like,
yeah.
I know I'm doing something wrong, but I'm still going to try to get away with it.
So Stokes back to the scorer's table, and Mihir back to jump. And Jones and Mihir will jump it up. Extended conversation, and yeah. Eventually, basketball will resume.
You promise?
Jones and Mihir jump it, and Jones wins the tip. Here's Astier. Ionescu yet to score this one as a whistle is called against Golden State. And New York already in the bonus with 5:43 still to go here in this second. And that'll be number 3 on Mihir.
It's huge for the New York Liberty. They're a terrific free throw shooting team this season.
Let's check in with Holly Rowe.
Well, people might forget Jonquel Jones is having such a great season, coming off her season high in their last game, but she had total reconstructive ankle surgery in the offseason. I talked to her before the game about it. She said, it's taken me some time to feel like I was back to myself and moving like I wanted to be. I've worked really hard in the offseason to get back after that grim surgery, but here she is, and you can see her turn the corner, making cuts. She was really hampered by that ankle last year, and you can see she's a much more mobile player so far this season.
Yeah, really good reminder, Hall, and she has looked really good through the first 20 games of this season. She's leading the Liberty in scoring thus far tonight. 9 points, now 4 of 6 from the line. Here's Burton. Astier gets over the screen. Burton's runner won't go. Rebound, Phoebish after it, couldn't control it. Burton kept it alive. Zandalicini can't hit. Jones the box out, loose again. At last hits Williams, and will be Liberty basketball. Golden State now 0 for 6 from three-point range. Remember, this is a Valkyries team that averages 11 makes from 3 per game, #1 in the league.
Neither of these teams is shooting well from the perimeter. And remember, we'll tell you, both teams are playing their 6th game in 11 days. It is a hard stretch for both of these teams in terms of the demands on their body and how frequently they're playing.
Astier fires, can't hit. Rebound Stokes. Yeah, it was interesting talking with Chris DeMarco about that and how he handles practice at a time like this when you're playing every other day. And he said they've just been putting 60 minutes or 75 minutes on the clock, a running clock. And what they can get done, they can get done. That's it. They're not pushing it any further than that. He said it's kept the group focused, efficient, both players and coaches, and has kept them from overworking on days they're not playing.
Rest and recovery so vitally important, especially when you get into the meat of the season.
Here's Williams giving it up. Zandalicini. Two-point Valkyries lead. Golden State's missed its last 6 shots. Burton into the paint, bounces out, 5 to shoot. And a defensive 3 seconds called on New York against Jonquel Jones.
Last 11 days, what does it look like for both of these teams? The New York Liberty 6 games, Golden State 6. Golden State has played a tougher strength of schedule in that stretch. The difference is only 1 of those games for Golden State has been on the road, 5 for New York. Look at the difference in the miles traveled for both teams during that stretch.
And coaches, obviously, they always want their practice time.
Yes.
And that's something that we hear NBA coaches malign all the time, WNBA coaches, especially after the condensed offseason. But when you're playing every other day, you just can't do it when you're looking out for the health, the safety, and the burst from your players.
You know what? Who doesn't want the practice time?
The players?
The players.
That's right.
They just want games. Bring them on.
Golden State finally able to get one to drop, and this time an offensive foul on Stewart. That will be her second. It has been a choppy first half, hence the score you see, 28-24, with only 3:42 to go in this second quarter.
Yeah, there's the double drag screen, and you just see Stewie leaning into it. She looked at Sabrina and said, yeah, that was me. She knew it was a foul.
Here's Burton. Good denial from Phoebish. Bounce it out, Williams. 7 to shoot. Williams zipping into the lane, denied by Jones, but a foul. And Gabby Williams will go to the line with a chance to score her first points of the game.
Continue to watch how far out the New York Liberty are denying on the defensive end, trying to not allow passes. Phoebish, Lainey Hamilton, switching when they have to switch, and then Jonquel Jones tries to come in and get the block at the end on the wide open lane.
And they called the foul on Stewart, not Jones, so that's number 3 on Breanna Stewart. Now remember, New York has already used a challenge successfully in this first half. And Williams misses both free throws. So she is now 0 for 3 from the line in this game. A 75% free throw shooter. Ionescu slides it into the corner. Lainey Hamilton backing into the paint, poked away. Burton able to claw it. Golden State trying to push. Zandalicini can't hit. Rebound Jones. Golden State still 0 from downtown in this game. They've missed their first 7 attempts. Jones connects on a 3. Jonquel Jones has been about the only offense in this game thus far today. Now 12 points on 3 of 5 shooting.
Golden State, a team that leads the WNBA with 11 makes from 3 per game.
Zandalicini gives it up. Stokes can't hit. Golden State now 0 for 8, but it's going to stay right here as Ionescu poked Williams in the eye, and more free throws coming for Golden State.
Jonquel Jones coming down as the trailer. Just a couple dribbles into it. She gets most of her threes on catch and shoots, but on that one, able to dribble right into it. Pretty looking stuff from the 6'6" center. Hey, Ryan, you know how today was the Gay Pride Parade in San Francisco?
Yes.
1 million people coming in.
Yeah, pretty cool.
Amazing. This game has had the pace of a parade float.
So you're saying the floats weren't zipping up and down Market Street?
They were not.
Okay.
They were plotting. But colorful and wonderful.
You know what I've always thought's interesting about that and the speed of floats? Have you ever tried to cross a parade? And the officers are like, sorry, you know, you can't, and you're like, I swear I can make it. That float will not run me over. Deebish. And a foul. He is going to send Jones to the line with New York also in the bonus. By the way, Williams, those 2 free throws, while we were talking about floats, those were her first points of the day. I mean, Jones really has been the lone source of offense for New York so far tonight. As we remind you, next Sunday, 7 p.m. Eastern, Indiana at Las Vegas. Watch it live on ESPN and Disney Plus, or stream it on the ESPN app. Indiana getting 8 days off before that game. Good for Caitlin Clark to be able to rest her back. She did not play last night. Fever played incredibly well against an LA team that you can tell may have a tough time while Kelsey Plum is out. Plum is having a historically great start to the season. Here's Zandalicini with a hand in her face. Able to hit. First 3 of the game for Golden State. Zandalicini with 9. Ionescu can't hit. Burton the rebound, looking to push. Squeezes it ahead to Williams. Zandalicini gives it up. In the corner, Thornton cashes in. Back-to-back threes from the Valkyries. And this building finally with some life. They haven't had many reasons to cheer in this first half, thanks to the plotting pace and the free throw brigade. Another stop from Golden State. Under a minute to go in this first half. Lead back to 7 for the Valkyries. Burton looking for help. Finds it in Williams. 3 to shoot. Williams. You bet! 3 straight threes from Golden State. A 9-0 run and a 10-point lead. And an offensive foul here against Ionescu.
If you want to go on a hot streak from deep, find Benayla Delaney Hamilton playing great defense and make the shots anyway. First, it's Zandalicini from the top. Then you have Thornton from the corner. Another great defensive contest, doesn't matter. And then finally Williams. Lady Hamilton right there with her hand up again. Golden State has found their groove from 3.
After missing their first 8. By the way, Jones gets that foul, not Ionescu, number 2 on Jonquel Jones. Both teams started this game 0 for 8 from 3. Here's Williams. Golden State unable to execute the 2 for 1. Salon into the lane, turning, twisting, and finishing. Shot clock turned off. An 11-0 Valkyrie run on the cut. Astier can't finish. They went too early. Time for Golden State. Williams into the lane. Can't finish. And that'll do it for the first half. But Golden State ends the half on an 11-0 run. Coming up on the Ally WNBA halftime. What second half adjustments will the Liberty Atkins right out of the gates against New York?
Yeah, you saw Phoebus just completely in the lane instead of out on the other side, kind of on the lane line to avoid the defensive 3 seconds.
And so Xanda Lassini will go to the line. And hit. Valkyries 10 of 14, make it 11 of 15 from the stripe. New York 6 of 8. Both teams have struggled to shoot the ball from 3, but Golden State ending that second quarter with 3 straight. Here's Burton. Flinging it to the corner. Williams finds Stokes, flashing and fouled. Kia Stokes is going to go to the line.
Liberty in a 2-3 zone on that possession, and Golden State a good job of just moving the ball around the perimeter. Then the entry pass into Kia Stokes once they got Jonquel Jones out of the middle of the paint.
Let's check in with Holly Rowe.
You know, Kia Stokes has been so unbelievable for the Valkyries this season. Natalie Nicase, of course, knew her from Las Vegas, where they won WNBA championships together, and she said her composure has been so crucial for our team. She's played the most playoff games, won championships, understands sacrifices, and now that she's starting, she just wants to be good. She said the thing I love most about her is she wants truth tellers. She wants me to be direct with her. I get on her, you know what, and she loves it. Kia Stokes adding some real veteran composure to this team.
Yeah, she said she never takes any criticism or yelling too much too hard. She just listens, obliges, and keeps it moving.
If everyone in the world were like that, it'd be a little bit of a better place, right?
Burton dishing. Thornton can't hit. Ionescu the rebound, then is held up, and that's going to be a jump ball as Williams gets in there to tie up Sabrina Ionescu. Ionescu yet to score in this game so far tonight, and Williams yanking the basketball and Ionescu over and gets the jump ball. And Golden State controls it. Williams thought about firing. Veers into the paint. Stokes couldn't handle it. Last hits her. New York basketball.
Looked like Abby Williams could have just gone up for the right-handed layup and not made that extra pass.
Now, speaking of coachable, Natalie Nicase just raves about how coachable Gabby Williams is. So Gabby told her early on this season, when you want me to do something, just yell at me. That's what'll get it done. As Stewart gets the roll on the lay, Kendra Andrews, our colleague, did a great story on Gabby Williams. You can read on ESPN.com or the ESPN app. Highly recommend it. Stewart knocks it away. Jones picks it up. Jonquel. Phoebus tried the touch pass. Ambitious vision, couldn't complete it. Thornton lines it up and knocks it down. Plus the foul. A chance for 4 for Kayla Thornton.
Golden State thrives when they can turn you over and then push pace the other way, and that's what we're going to see from Veronica Burton. Secures the ball, pushing the other way. Thornton just spotting up, ready to hit it, and Jonquel Jones undercutting her.
Jones picks up her third, so 3 on Astier, Stewart, and Jones. Thornton now in double figures. She has 11 points, leads all Golden State scorers. Playing against her former team. She won a title within 24 that was selected by Golden State in the expansion draft. You know, Thornton then last year had an all-star first half, got hurt, tore meniscus, was out for the remainder of the season. But Natalie Nicase was telling us, Kayla Thornton and her were talking the other day, and she said, all right, I feel like I'm all the way back physically now. Han Shu getting some minutes here for New York. Stewart on the cut, using the window, couldn't finish. Golden State with a 16-point lead. Burton has 6 assists. Williams, the crossover, the jumper, won't go. Astier, the breakdown, nearly threw it away. Ionescu connects. First points of the game for Sabrina Ionescu.
Astier and her dribble penetration, getting the defense in a bit of a rotation so that they can eventually get that pass out to a wide open Sabrina.
Ionescu has still been working her way back from a back injury, an ankle injury, a foot that kept her out at the start of the season. She's had to manage throughout. Has played better the last 2 games entering this one. Astier comes up with a steal, an opportunity for New York. Ionescu gets it back, using the shoe screen.
Fences and ending up with a great shot by Hayes.
Astier couldn't finish it over a me here. Burton has been terrific orchestrating per usual for Golden State. Has to switch on shoe. Flings it out. Hayes cradles, elevates, can't drop it in, got it back. Charles, no. Another offensive rebound, a me here. Back to Charles. Gonna drive it this time, the spin, and the finish. Timeout, New York, what a response. Ionescu. Pocket pass to Jones, took a moment to gather. Good look to Stewart. Can't hit the 3, Jones got a hand on it, nothing more. Charles racing ahead, has speed, and uses it. Valkyries pouring it on. And New York has just looked a step slow at times here tonight against Golden State.
They've had a really hard time finding their rhythm, and yes, a lot of it is you credit Golden State and how good they are on the defensive end of the floor, but there's also been, you know, times where New York has looked tired, and we've already documented and talked about this 11-day stretch where they've been on the road for most of it, and it certainly looks like a tired New York Liberty team at times.
Stewart spinning, flipping, and traveled before the attempt as New York turns it over. And this is what Rebecca's referring to. 6 games in 11 days for both teams. For New York, though, all of that travel as well. 5,762 miles. A 7-0 Golden State run following the little 5-0 Sabrina Ionescu burst. Burton. Charles enters, floats, and gets the roll. Charles now with 11 off the bench. Burton with 7 assists. Jones gets called for an offensive foul. I mean, that just looked like a play on to the naked eye, but Jones gets called for the offensive foul. And that is her 4th. I just thought this was a good defensive stop.
Yeah, I agree.
I mean, why is that a foul? That, to me, that just looks like...
The elbow to Tiffany Hayes' face. I think that was the part that...
New York trailed 30-29 with 2:12 left in the second. Both teams kind of stuck in mud in the first half, and then Golden State ended the second quarter on an 11-0 run after missing their first 8 threes. They hit 3 in a row in those final 2 minutes, and it's been a 26-7 run since that 2:12 mark remaining in the second, and it is a cushiony 20-point Valkyrie lead.
After review, the contact is initiated by the defender, Tiffany Hayes. Therefore, the call is overturned to a blocking foul. Jonquel Jones is going to receive 2 free throws. This is a successful challenge. However, New York will be charged their timeout, and they will also not receive a remaining challenge for the rest of the game. 2 free throws. Successful.
How do you initiate contact with your face?
Let's see if she does with her hands or arms. Oh, I don't agree with that at all.
I don't either.
Right? Maybe there. I mean, that's marginal. No.
I do not. I'm with you.
That to me is either a play on or a foul on Jones.
Yeah.
I don't see a world in which you review that and come back with a foul on Tiffany Hayes.
I completely agree.
I mean, she barely scrapes the wrist of Jones on the initial contact, and then the next contact is from Jones to the face of Hayes. I mean, I don't think she does make the contact first.
In any world, it would be hard to initiate with your face.
And it's concerning when you go to the monitor, spend that much time, and come back with that. So it's a significant overturn. Not just could have put Jones at the line for those free throws, but would have been her fourth. Instead, she has three. Thornton had to put it up with a fading shot clock. It grazed the rim.
New York really struggling to get defensive boards when they're in the zone.
Here's Hayes. Hayes on the drive, scoops it in with the right hand. Here's Stewart through the lane, lefty lay, won't go. Secured by Amihir. Burton. 5 points, 6 rebounds, 7 assists for Veronica Burton. Golden State a 26-0 edge in bench points in this game. Burton breaking down Jones on the switch, the fade. No. And Stewart the weak side rebound. Stewart lines up a three. That one will drop. New York just 5 of 17 from three. That's Stewart's first of the night. Stewart sitting out. New York's last game, a loss to Seattle. Chris DeMarco saying they just wanted to find a spot where she could get a few consecutive days off. Hayes committed to the air, was able to drop it in. Amihir with 2 as it poked away. Charles has to put it up. Got it on the rim. Amihir keeps it alive. But it's out of bounds off of her, and it's New York ball. And now the officials will confer, and they will say it is, in fact, Golden State's ball. Let's take a look at who it hits last. Now it looks like it hits the elbow of Jones, and so correctly overturned. Thanks to the conference as Salon lays it in.
Simple up screen by Tiffany Hayes gives Salon enough room there.
Knocked away, taken by Salon. Valkyries with a 19-point lead, 2:10 to go in this third. Salon looking for an angle, didn't find one, 7 to shoot. Under 2 minutes to go in the third. Hayes will launch. Can't hit. Rebound Jones. Let's chat now live from the bench. Veronica Burton joining us. Veronica, 5 points, 7 assists, 6 rebounds. Really feels like you've been in control. What have you been seeing out there today as you've been able to break down this New York defense?
I mean, I just think we've been really keeping our composure. Obviously, we've seen a lot of different defensive schemes on their end, but just remaining calm and reading what they're giving us.
What changed for you guys for the last couple minutes of that second quarter where you were able to go on the run?
I mean, we hadn't hit a three early, and, you know, we need to be able to find ways to score without hitting threes, and I think we did that really, really well. Honestly, we got to the rim, we got to the free throw line, and then the threes started opening up for us, and, you know, it's a good sign when we're hitting threes.
All right, Veronica, we appreciate the time. Thanks so much.
Of course. Thanks, guys.
All right, Veronica Burton, you see their record when she has more than 6 assists, and she has 7 already today.
And you heard her talk about the different defenses that the New York Liberty have thrown at them. Golden State has only committed 6 turnovers on the day. They've dealt with full court trapping zone pressure. They've dealt with switching man-to-man, variety of zones, different looks coming at them. And, you know, teams change things up to try to take you out of your rhythm, maybe turn you over. And New York has not been able to turn Golden State over.
Burton's steady hand, a huge reason why. So it's interesting talking to a variety of WNBA players last year towards the end of the season. How many said Veronica Burton was one of, if not the hardest player they had gone up against defensively all season. As Hayes can't finish on the drive. Here's Stewart, hesitation, and Hayes comes back for the steal.
It's the second steal we've seen from Hayes in the last couple of plays. She's been setting good screens, doing a lot of the other little things.
Raquel Carrera getting minutes for New York. Chan, the attack, the float, and the finish. Johannes trying to speed into a 2-for-1. Carrera curling, got thwarted. And 15 still to shoot. 10-second difference game and shot clock.
Tiffany Hayes brings so much energy, plays with so much energy. Gets knocked down, and then watch her sprint back into the play and able to get the steal and push the other way.
Johannes trying to dump it in, and a foul as Stewart was being grabbed. She'll go to the line to shoot 2. And that is number 5 on Caitlin Chen. And 7 minutes of action. That's foul efficiency right there. Stewart hits the free throw.
Certainly foul proficiency.
Let's check in with Howell.
Well, guys, you see the Valkyries using their bench so well today, and the reason Tiffany Hayes is able to play with that kind of passion, they call it emptying the tank, gritty, intense every second, because they have such depth. Her minutes are actually down. She's playing just 15 minutes a game, so when she's in, she can go at full throttle. We've seen that with her, with Caitlin Chen. Even Veronica Burton's minutes are down, so she can go harder when she is on the floor. It's a product of Natalie Nicassi and how she's coaching the team this year.
Thank you, Howell. Salon can't finish. Juggled around. Another chance and a whistle. Going to stay here. Loose ball foul against New York. They had one to give. So side out for Golden State with 3.7 remaining in this third.
Shot goes up. Players trying to box out, and then
I think Phoebish grabbed the right arm, and that's where the foul was called. Lob it in. Salon with 2. Salon on the drive, muscling and banking. Around the community, the excitement they have about the Valkyries, about getting to go see the Valkyries, it's incredible. The ownership this area has of this team and the pride they take in them and the atmosphere. Herrera on the drive. That is going to be a charge. Hayes there to take the body and the blow. Well, Tiffany Hayes may have been on the receiving end of a questionable review in the third, but there's no doubt that's a charge that time as we check in with Holly Rowe.
Well, guys, they call it Valhalla for good reason. It's a play off the Norse term Valhalla. It's meant the Hall of the Slain, and they have slain a lot of opponents here in this building. This atmosphere is incredible. They broke the record for attendance in the WNBA last year. They're on pace to do it again this season. This is the heaven of the Valkyries right now, and I love how Valhalla has translated here in the community.
Yeah, it really is amazing, Holly, and a thoughtful background, too, to the nickname. Hayes connects.
Valkyries using clock in that last offensive possession. Take the shot, get the offensive board, use clock again, and then end up with a good look from Hayes.
Stewart, Phoebish, Jones all out. You wonder if they will see the floor again here in this fourth. New York would seemingly have to go on some kind of a push because the tea leaves thus far for Chris DeMarco have not been that a run is coming. But you know what? A second wedgie, same spot.
Bookending the game. Well, it's not quite ending, but first and fourth quarter wedgies.
Yes. The same exact spot on the rim. No wardrobe adjustment from that rim.
Not that time. Burton out to Tiffany Hayes. Hayes prancing back the other way, feeling the emotions of it.
I mean, when's the last time you had 2 wedgies in one game?
Me? Or we?
We. Meanwhile, how about, you know, Holly was talking about this, the average attendance for Golden State. It's incredible. Over 18,000 fans per game. They have sold out every game. We know how remarkable the atmosphere is at Barclays Center. They are just behind Golden State. Then you have Indiana. Portland has brought it in their return. And LA 5th on that list. But you look at the way the average attendance just has grown for the league over the last few years. It's a rocket ship headed north. Burton blasts in a 3. Largest lead of the night for Golden State. And this is an impressive stretch for the Valkyries. Had 2 wins against Atlanta, Dream, one of the better teams in the league, and now putting it on New York here tonight.
And so incredibly dangerous on the offensive end when they are draining threes like that. You know they're going to take a lot of them. 31 attempts per game. And when they're going in, it allows them to set up their defense, which has been so stifling here. I mean, holding New York to 48 points. 48 points in the fourth quarter.
New York has had a lot of variations in how they have looked just out on this road trip. Think about how they looked for 2.5 quarters against LA. And then how they finished that game with LA coming all the way back and then winning it on the Nneka Ogwumike 3. Then how the Liberty played against the Aces, where they looked fantastic. And now, here tonight, struggling mightily against Golden State. Salon, a little too much on it. Amir, another offensive rebound. Charles, no. .720 to go. Stewart back into the game for New York. Liberty trying to make one more push. Astier gets it back. Was given space. Now stopped. Ionescu buries the 3.
Of course, the New York Liberty missing Satu Sabali, who was in concussion protocol. She was kind of starting to find her groove and looking really good until she got hit.
And that big lineup had been very successful for New York. With her, Thievish, Jones, and Stewart. Net rating was off the charts. And you just hope Satu is okay after the concussion she dealt with in the finals through the offseason. But New York has had their share of games missed. 9 different starting lineups so far this season.
Ionescu, Laney Hamilton both coming off of injury, still finding their groove.
.648 to go in the fourth. Burton. And a kick ball will keep things here. With 14 to shoot for Golden State. Salon, Charles, Williams, Amihir, and Burton on the floor for Natalie Nakase's Valkyries. Salon pops it out. Charles, runner short, gets it back to the corner. Good movement here. Amihir on the attack. Can't lay it in. Stewart Trying to fend off the body of Ami here. Ionescu, they need it. In and out. Rebound flag down by Williams with 6:15 to go. Ionescu's had a few of her misses today, halfway down and pop out from 3. Burton flings it high. Charles muscling in, the footwork and the fillet. "21-point Golden State lead as Astery. You saw the most combined players playing 45 or more minutes. And foul sends Phoebish to the deck. Now, you and I were just wondering in the break about some of these Liberty players still being in the game. You've had this grueling stretch. Unlike every other team, except for the Aces, you are not about to have a few-day break. Liberty and Aces will play Tuesday in the Commissioner's Cup Championship, and they're going to take a look at this as Thornton ran through the body of Phoebish. They're going to look and see whether or not there's a possible upgrade here.
Away from the play is being under review to see if it meets the criteria for an upgrade.
Phoebish stretching out the neck. That was a hard hit she took. You know, just to kind of put a bow on the thought about the expansion teams, Valkyries here, Portland and Toronto, we have seen these expansion teams come in and make an impact competitive right away, which has been, I think, unexpected and has made the league that much more competitive.
After review, the common foul does not meet the criteria for an upgrade. Away from the play foul stands.
So just a common foul away from the play, which means anybody could shoot one free throw, and then New York will retain the basketball.
The expansion teams have been able to bring a lot more international players in, and it's made their rosters be able to be more competitive more quickly. But it's been amazing to see the support that we've, starting here in Golden State and now also in Portland and Toronto in terms of the fan support.
All right, you think about how Golden State has been able to build this roster and build this competitive team that's top 4 in the standings. They haven't even used their first-round picks, essentially, from these first 2 years, and yet have been able to construct a team that can compete. Burton with space. Gonna let some more clock wind. Burton, the hesitation, can't bank it in. Out of bounds, stays here with Golden State. 14 on the shot clock. Burton, 8 points, 6 rebounds, 8 assists. She will check out. Chen in for Golden State. Williams, the pull-up, smooth.
So Golden State just completely cleared out the left side of the floor and let Gabby Williams go to work.
Jones will fire and knock it down from 3. 19 for Jonquel Jones, who's 3 of 6 from deep. The rest of New York, 5 for 15 from downtown. Charles on the drive, can't lay it in. Stokes had it for a moment. Ionescu fouled by Stokes. 4:25 to go in this fourth. And Chris DeMarco wants a transition take foul. He was talking to us before the game about how he feels there's no real direction in how that particular play is called.
I agree. I think you have to understand the intent of it. They should just call it the Diana Taurasi rule because she's the one who always used to take those.
Stewart gets fouled by Stokes. Maybe DeMarco giving the Liberty another minute or two to try and cut into this before he would shut it down?
I'm surprised that he didn't shut it down a couple of minutes ago.
17-point Valkyrie lead. They have controlled the entire second half. New York has not led tonight. Stewart with 15. She and Jonquel Jones, the only member on shoe. That's going to be a shot clock violation. Rebecca, what do you make of New York's start to the season?
It's been interesting, certainly, as they've tried to work different lineups, players being healthy, coming off of injury, then losing some as well. I mean, you talked about it a little bit ago. It's surprising to see the team we saw against LA for the first 2.5 quarters, and then the last 1.5 where they looked completely different. And then they were terrific against Vegas a couple of games ago. And granted, I think there is some fatigue right now with this road trip that they're on. They're dealing with injuries, but do they have the pieces to contend for a championship? When they're healthy, absolutely they do. But they haven't found, since that 8-game win streak, they just haven't found a real groove on both ends of the floor since then.
Golden State is going to challenge this out of bounds. With 3:05 to go in the fourth.
Taking time out to challenge the call out of bounds.
And they feel the last hit New York. Is there enough evidence to overturn that? It's currently New York basketball. Let's see. First angle, I'd say no. That angle looks like it may have hit New York last. And the right hand of Rebecca Gardner.
I think so. Yeah, right there. I agree. I think it looks like it hits Gardner's hand last.
Yeah, I think you're right. Now we give Golden State the basketball. Meanwhile, Golden State is so interesting, Rebecca, because this team still doesn't have, you know, their all WNBA superstar at its core, but they have a lot of really good players.
After review, the ball is last touched by New York prior to going out of bounds. Therefore, it's a successful challenge. Golden State does not charge the timeout, and they do receive a remaining challenge for the rest of the game.
They did add a significant all-star free agent in Gabby Williams, and they just play so hard, so consistently on both ends.
And you get a sense that they're kind of on a string defensively. They communicate well. They clearly know their identity. They clearly know their schemes, what they're supposed to be doing game in and game out. And then on the offensive end, the effort translates there as well. How many times we've seen them crashing the glass, getting O boards, the players who are good at getting touches in the paint in terms of penetration and then kicking the basketball do that. Like, they all have their identity of what they do well, and they stick to it.
Under 3 minutes to go. Chen got fouled by Carrera. Stokes, Thornton, Chen, Zandalicini, and Gabby Williams, the 5 for Golden State. Williams can't hit. Rebound flag down by Carrera. Here comes Gardner. Rebecca Allen in for New York as well. Here's Johannes. One of the more exciting players with the ball in her hands in the league, as Allen can't hit the 3, and whistle will stay here as Thornton gets called for the foul, trying to fend off Honshu. It was interesting talking to Chris DeMarco about Honshu before the game, and just kind of how he decides when to deploy her and how he sees her role. And he said, you know, he was watching her in the WNBA in Australia playing for Perth, and he said at some point when you're watching a player over and over again, you realize they are just effective. And that's how he felt watching her, that she's not just a specialty player. And he said, look, on our roster, this isn't going to happen, but I really believe if you decided to play her 30 minutes and run pick and roll with her over and over again, she would put up serious numbers.
It's just hard when ahead of you is Jonquel Jones and Brianna Stewart. Hard to find minutes, but when she's gotten in, she's played extremely well this season.
Jen gets denied by Johannes. 2 minutes to go in this fourth. Here's Gardner. Gardner gets denied. Kia Stokes on the rejection.
Kia Stokes in the last game against Atlanta had 7 blocks. Here she gets that one.
And the Valkyries will empty their bench. Utite will come into the game. Gets a huge ovation, as do the departing players for Golden State. Utite, the rookie out of Lithuania, was the first ever Golden State draft pick. Shoot, buries the three. It's tantalizing at 6'11".